What is up? It's your boy Jermaine Event, Main on MMA, and today we are checking out a video from the fight business. Is it the fighting business, actually? The fighting business, and this is called The Art of Promotion. I'm not really sure what exactly. I mean, it's the art of promotion. I mean, it speaks for itself. I have not seen it, so let's check it out and give you guys some reactions throughout and at the end, as always.
Fighting is only half the battle. The other half, selling it. And that's arguably more difficult than actual combat.
It's easy to say a win is a win. When you get booed out of an arena, it means people don't want to watch you fight. And that's how you make a living.
Nah.
Not good if people don't want to watch you fight.
It means that fucking Miami audience you're fighting in front of doesn't know what the they're watching. If people like boo for grappling, it's not because grappling's boring. It's because you don't know what you're watching.
Around 700 fighters on the roster, it's easy to get lost in the shuffle. I bet you can count on one hand those names you follow with genuine interest, the ones who draw you in. It's not enough to just be a great fighter anymore.
You're just praying you can survive. Look at my line. I can hear it in your voice. I can hear it in your words.
To rise above the pack, you need to create a narrative, stir up emotion, and keep fans invested in you, not just your next bout.
That was a fake stoppage, fake rep, fake fight. Wait till I see you next time. Wait till I see you
Tell
next
him,
time,
Colby.
Fake newsman. You're dead.
Everyone wishes they can be Conor McGregor or Floyd Mayweather and sell out arenas just by tweeting something mean, but they're not.
If you're the type of fighter that comes in and the crowd goes crazy and goes nuts, awesome. If you're the type of fighter that walks in and everybody boos you, incredible.
That's great too.
Right, it's awesome. What you don't want to be is the person that nobody gives a one way or the other about. You know what I mean? You just walk in and there's nothing.
Some can't talk, some can't win a performance bonus no matter how hard they try, and some just don't have that innate charisma that makes people want to watch them, love them, or even hate them. So they rely on what they have and what they do best. Talk, brawl, trigger, anything to make sure that you click and watch.
That's definitely not Sean Strickland. I'm not interested in anything he does. He's that guy. I don't give a about Sean Strickland.
The UFC is an opportunity, not a career.
Brazil, you're a dog. All you filthy animals suck.
If you want to make money, you better be all in.
No more pain.
See, the problem with that Colby gimmick, and I like Colby. All right, I wasn't a diehard when that thing happened. I'm aware of that situation. All right, but I wasn't a diehard then. Had I been, I probably wouldn't be as big as a Colby fan as I am, you know. But I did see that. I mean, I wasn't a diehard back then. My thing with that whole Brazil is a dumb thing. Do you really want that to be out there? Representing yourself years down the line? That's crazy.
Nails, no more dog collars for you guys. Let's go.
And go all out, inside and outside the cage.
On the count of three, I want everyone in this arena to scream at the top of your lungs, the Mayweathers. 1, 2, 3.
At the very top, you have guys that understand that promotion and marketing is just as important
You
as
don't
the
show
actual
that
fighting.
disrespect
if not
to the
more. one thing
Mayweathers
in
on
common
this
to
channel.
These guys is that they are always right there and always relevant. Dana White forgets to mention them or back them up because they are part of his golden boys. The media members are constantly writing about them because they always have something to say. And the fans, well, they either adore them or flat out loathe them, as they are some of the most polarizing personalities in the sport.
You are the definition of weakness.
Conor McGregor, at least the old Conor McGregor, was a promoter's dream. He was smart, witty, and articulate, and he understood the concept of building and hyping a fight. It also helped that he had charisma. He was easily the most charismatic fighter in UFC history, so when he talked, people listened. And back then, very key that I say back then here, he didn't have to cross the line to spice up a story.
Imagine getting the biggest fight in the history of the game and saying, shut your mouth, kid. You're getting paid what you got your last fight, and you're lucky you're even getting that. Yes, sir, and sign it.
Hey, I was okay with the money. I was gonna negotiate the money. Because this guy's easy money.
Brian
Oh my
St.
God.
McGregor was basically God level, with very few in combat sports history even coming close to being his distant second. Not everyone has that level of charisma, but that doesn't mean they won't try. To compensate, they are prepared to burn bridges and cross every line there is. When you tune into a Colby interview, you're not going to see charisma and wit. You will hear a few buzzwords and middle school insults, but you also know for a fact, Colby is going to stutter something truly disgusting, and the pay-per-view sales are going to skyrocket.
I'm gonna bring you to a place you never want to be. I'm gonna bring you the 7th layer hair. Hell. Okay. We'll say what's up to your dad while we're there.
Oh! What Colby Covington lacks in charisma, he makes up for it with sheer audacity. He fully embraces the villain role, aware that controversy sells no matter the cost. For Colby, there are no limits, no insult too vile and no boundary too sacred, and as he himself will tell you, he's not there to win fans, he's there to sell pay-per-views, and as long as people keep tuning in and paying attention, he'll...
I think he could have this MAGA character without doing that Brazil rant. Do you really want yourself out there like that? That's crazy.
Keep cashing checks. Love him or hate him, you'll never ignore him.
I put the emotions to the side. You know, I'm not an ultimate feelings champion. I'm an ultimate fighting champion, so.
Then there's Sean Strickland, a completely different breed of chaos, where Colby feels somewhat...
Yo, this clown was going on an anti-Quran rant on Twitter, and I'm not religious, but I've tried to read a few religious texts.
Calculated.
And they're virtually the same goddamn book. The things he's criticizing the Quran about are in the Bible, bro.
Sean is unfiltered, like a fighter who doesn't care whether his mic is on or off. His rants are raw, bizarre, and disturbing, the kind that leaves you unsure whether to laugh or cringe.
When I start my clothing company and I open up a couple sweatshops, how do I get to the meat and potatoes of work harder? No food for you till you finish. If it wasn't UFC, I'd probably be cooking meth in a trailer in prison, so.
He's a walking paradox, someone who legit seems like he doesn't care about fame, yet manages to stay constantly relevant because he's just that unpredictable. While Colby pushes boundaries for promotion, Sean obliterates them simply because that's who he is.
Do you believe fat shaming is okay if the person you're fat shaming is someone you love?
I think fat shaming is always okay.
Together, they represent two sides of the same coin. Fighter who thrive not just because of what they do in the cage, but because of the chaos they unleash outside of it. Because inside, they aren't really setting the octagon on fire, are they? They're distinct from Conor in more ways than one, but there is another common feature between these three. They are personalities who are not afraid to talk, and that is why you'll watch their every move. But talking is not the only method to self-promote. There are people who outright hate media day and will disappear for months and months, but their popularity never really plummets. Even if it does, it'll take one highlight package to remind fans who they are. They are performers who are some of the most beloved people in the sports because while they barely talk or promote themselves outside the octagon, once they are in and the cage door is locked, they bleed and suffer unlike anyone else.
I love how he's showing fighters that don't speak English. They don't talk much. I feel like Charles talks a lot, but you just don't know what he's saying because it's in Portuguese. I feel like Alex talks a lot, but it's in Portuguese.
And put their opponents through the same agony, and we love them for it. Every time Max Holloway has a mic in front of his mouth, you can bet the mortgage that this line...
I love how he puts Max Holloway in there. Max talks a lot, but it's in Portuguese.
Will come out.
We get to find out Saturday night, man. I can't wait.
We find out Saturday night, baby. Yeah. We're making that walk Saturday night.
We're about to find out Saturday, bro.
Looking back, this line perfectly describes him as a fighter, one-dimensional on the mic, but a performer inside the octagon. We'll see Saturday night has become a statement of Holloway's press conferences, probably because the talking doesn't interest him one bit, but definitely because on Saturday nights, you can bet the mortgage that Max Holloway will deliver. Holloway's last victim is someone very similar. Justin Gaethje doesn't care about trash talk or selling a narrative to make you tune in. All he cares about is violence, plain and simple.
You know, I love that people understand what they're going to get when I walk out and the atmosphere kind of changes. I can feel the intensity shift. And, you know, I love being that. I don't usually plan on being alive the day after my fight, so hopefully I'm there on Sunday.
With a style built on senseless destruction, he's the kind of fighter who would go radio silent for months, yet one brutal knockout is enough to remind the world why he's must-watch television. Hell, they say the word violence or fight or anything close, and it all flashes in your head, and you instantly buy the pay-per-view. This can be termed charisma as well, tied to physical performance rather than words. It's a different kind of magnetism, one that doesn't rely on trash talk or theatrics, but on a reputation earned through relentless wars and unforgettable battles. And evidently, you don't even need to speak English.
Yeah.
I know I don't.
I'm
Alex
glad he
Pereira is
touched on
widely
that.
regarded as the face of the UFC.
He's
now,
only talking
and
about
he's yet to
fighters that
speak
don't
a
speak
single
English.
word of English on camera.
Like Max
Platon rose to
Holloway.
superstardom purely due to his presence and his savagery inside the octagon, because every second
Stipe
of combat with this dude
Miocic.
keeps you on the edge. Brazilian UFC fighters are just built differently, I guess. You had Anderson Silva, and now you have
Lopez, that's
Poatan,
my
Charles
boy.
Oliveira, and Diego Lopez. Anderson Silva brought artistry to violence and became one of the biggest stars in the company due to his performances alone and almost no words. Today, Alex Pereira, Charles Oliveira, and Diego Lopez embody that same cold and calculated destructions that beacons, with every strike thrown with bad intention and every fight carrying an aura of invincibility. They don't talk in a language you understand, but their actions speak louder than words ever could. These fighters transcend language barriers, communicating through a universal dialect of unrelenting grit, bloody spectacle, and raw, unflinching poetry of violence. They're not talkers, but performers, entertainers, and most importantly, fan favorites. They don't need to talk to build hype, because when they're locked in that cage, they become the promotion. It's beautiful, really.
Every single one of y'all that has talked, disrespected, it's really crazy to me. I'm better at my job. I am certified.
Why is he
one of
delusional?
the top,
I mean,
we'll say
this part isn't delusional. I mean, he's been delusional at points, but not here. Not here. He's the former UFC champion. He's one of the best at what he does. You can't argue that.
15 in the world in my job.
Oh, guess we're at this part now. On the completely opposite end of the spectrum, you have some of the most hated personalities in the sport. As much hate as people like Colby and
I know it's like not popular, but I've mentioned here, I used to be a big Anthony Smith guy. It's unfortunate how things have turned out for my boy.
Strickland generate. They are still polarizing and have as many supporters as they have detractors, but these guys, sheesh, pure hatred. And I'm talking about more dislike than likes on every interview levels. They're not popular, they're infamous, and people watch them for the sole desire of seeing them get beaten, and you never really know about their intentions. Are they playing 4D chess and trolling us all, or are they really like this? I think, or like to think anyway, that Pena has some level of self-awareness, and she realized a while ago that fans hate her, and the more she talks, the more invested they will get.
I never stopped fighting, and I was in her face the entire time, and I ran out of time, and so she knows that it's going to be a hard night.
My work doesn't warrant it. I'm the first ever woman to win the Ultimate Fighter. I've torn 4 out of 5 ligaments in my knee and came back from that.
See, that's
Actually, both
crazy.
knees. I gave birth.
Meanwhile, I have no doubt that
I gave birth. See, yeah, when she first came back and was saying Nunes was scared of her, and I gave birth, I tore these ligaments, I won the Ultimate Fighter 10 years ago, like, crazy. And then she wins the championship. It's nuts.
Smith and Jamal Hill genuinely believe every word that comes out of their mouth, and that's what makes it even more unbearable. They never really lost, you know? On paper, they are the greatest of all time. Y'all just don't know it yet.
Just to pause, I say Juliana is the success story. You can delusion your way into 2 UFC championships. Insane. Insane.
Because you're all haters and jealous of their success. They can beat you up, so they're automatically right.
At the end of the day, bro, y'all can only talk so much shit before somebody, you know what I mean, start to say something back. So for all y'all that's talking all this shit about this fighting shit, y'all want to speak on some fighting shit, we talk money shit, nigga. 20 bands, pull up to the gym. Anybody that, all y'all that's talking on these posts and all of this shit, talking this and that, I got 20 bands. Pull up to the gym, bro. Come get paid. I know y'all broke and need it.
And they say it with such conviction, confidence, and consistency that you actively seek out their videos and dislike each one. And despite all the hatred you have for them, you will most of the time stick around and watch the entire thing. And after leaving a comment about how delusional they are and how sick you feel, you will spend the next week praying that their opponent knocks them senseless and sends them into obscurity. That's exactly what they want. Actually, Not really. Like I said, I don't even know for sure. But here's the thing, that level of delusion works. It fuels fan investment like nothing else. People don't just watch these guys fight. They pray to see them get humbled, dragged through hell, and reminded of their place. And the more they talk, the more the fans tune in, because there's satisfaction in seeing fighters like Pena, Smith, and Hill eat their words. It's not charisma, it's not strategy, it's not entertainment. It's pure, unfiltered ego, delusion, and hatred. And as much as fans despise it, they can't look away either. This is where I should end the video, but I feel it's important to highlight fighters who don't have a snowball's chance in hell when it comes to self-promotion and marketing. Covington acts, Pereira performs, Hill yaps. Whatever the method is, they draw people in. But at the very bottom, in the twilight zone, you have... I think I'll let Colby describe them.
Shut up! Stop talking. Pay-per-view's going out the window. You couldn't draw money with a green crayon and a white piece of paper.
They can't talk, they can't perform, they don't care enough to yap. I categorize them as anti-promotion wizards because even if by some miracle they do attain some popularity, it is only a matter of time before it all blows down. Take Leon Edwards for example. Leon caught lightning in a bottle when he knocked out Usman and delivered a fine promo in the post-fight interview.
Headshot dead!
Now, when was the last time you even thought of Leon Edwards? When he lost his belt to Bilal, he pretty much faded into obscurity overnight. Leon Edwards is the poster boy for what happens when a fighter refuses to play the game. You can't knock his talent. His skills inside the octagon are undeniable, but outside of it, crickets. Leon barely engages with the media, avoids trash talk like it's the plague, and delivers promo with all the energy of a man reading his grocery list at 7 a.m.
Well, it is what it is. I think it shows the type of man that he is, and tomorrow night I get to settle it. You know, that's all that matters.
He's the kind of fighter who, even in victory, struggles to leave a lasting impression. You could hand him the most viral moment of the year, and somehow he'd manage to botch it. He had all the tools to become a star after dethroning Usman, an underdog story and the boom, headshot, dead zinger, but he did nothing with it. And it's not just Leon either. Allow me to ruin your day by bringing up Merab Dvalishvili. I have to give him some credit in comparison to Leon because he does try to ramp up the excitement, but the dude is just cursed. Inside the octagon, he'll shoot 50 takedowns, but won't be able to complete one. When not fighting, he'll post skits and videos that are supposed to be funny and quirky, but they just don't work. They're kind of like his takedown attempts.
If somebody throws 50 takedowns against you, how are you going to get your game going? You're defending 50 takedowns, and he got 11 of them. That's exhausting, bro. I don't know why that's a complaint against Merab by stifling his opponent's game.
Act with a lot of efforts, but they rarely land. Self-promotion never works when you have the charisma of a malfunctioning machine.
That's a weird
criticism.
criticism.
People don't outright loathe him. They
He's
don't really
winning.
like him either. They just want him to lose the belt and go away. So does the promotion, really. The fact that the UFC sphere ended with Merab as champion will haunt Dana White for a long, long time.
You can put on $20 million worth of production, but you can't control the fights. They're going to be what they are. So I cannot let that drive me crazy.
I take it back. He did something right after all. And that finally wraps up the video, an overview on how to promote and how not to. Some captivate with their words you can't help but listen, others with their wars you just have to witness, and a few with their sheer audacity.
I would argue that Colby captivates more with his fighting than his words, because his words are usually jumbled.
And delusion you can't help but hate. Love them, hate them, cheer for them, or pray for their downfall. You'll be watching them, except for the last ones. They don't really count. Or maybe they do. I made a video about them after all, so I guess they are doing something right. And more power to them, because in modern day UFC, promotion isn't just a skill, it's your entire brand.
Shout out to the fighting business for that dope video about the art of promotion. I would say I disagreed with some of it. I don't feel like Merab is anti-promotion. It's like either you like grappling or you don't. Like his example is that Merab shoots 50 takedowns and only gets 11. Dude, that's exhausting. All right, exhausting. It's insane that he has the gas tank to go for that many takedown attempts. All right, that's insane. But if I'm trying to defend that, Jesus Christ, like, is that against Petr Yan? I would imagine that's against Yan, because Yan by the third round, like, had this look like, what the hell is going on in here? What is going on? He couldn't get anything going. He's just defending takedowns. Merab was all over this man, and he had that look, that 1,000-yard stare, as Joe Rogan would call it. That's what was going on with Petr Yan in that fight. I would imagine that stat is from Merab versus Yan. I would imagine. Maybe it's not. But that's what I felt like watching that fight. I don't agree with that. Yeah, man. As I said before with Colby, man, and the Brazil thing, dude, you can't take that back now. That's there forever, bro. And you could say I was just playing a character, but wow, bro, that's a crazy character to play. It's like I'm a big on prison YouTube, and there's this guy, Lamarck Moore. You guys can look into that guy and his situation and what he went on camera claiming to be very openly. And now he's like, oh, I was just playing a character. Like about 20, 30 years later, he's like, I was playing a character in that documentary. And it's like, that's a crazy character to play, my guy. That's a crazy character to play in real life. It's not like you're in a movie. Like, you're just like, this is who I am. These are my thoughts. This is how I'm representing myself. And that's how Colby put himself with the Brazil. And that's how Lamarck Moore put himself in that prison documentary. You guys can look at that. That's neither here nor there. But let me know what you guys thought about that video. Go ahead over to the Fighting Business YouTube channel. Give them a like, give them a subscribe. Let them know what you thought about that video. I thought it was pretty cool. I did disagree with some points about the fighters who don't talk. He picked the mushmouth fighters like Max Holloway, who's got all the CTE in the world. And then the fighters from Brazil who can't speak English. Like, I'm sure they would speak quite a bit. If we all spoke Portuguese, we'd be like, man, this nigga Alex don't never shut the fuck up. Bro, you posting about Izzy like every day, bro. What's going on? Anywho, let me know what you guys think in the comments. Hit that like, hit that subscribe, and I will see you guys when I see you. I'll holla.